So just to be clear about this video, it has been announced that Teddy Bridgewater will be the Week 1 starter. When I made this video, that had not been announced yet, so you might hear me say, I think he should be the Week 1 starter. Well, now it's official. He will be, so just clearing that up. It was weird because, you know, the way I do this is if I want to take a day off, I make videos in advance and then post them. It just so happens both the Teddy Bridgewater video and the Ja'Marr Chase video had stuff dropped that changed the video. The Bridgewater a lot more fun than Ja'Marr Chase stuff. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just letting you know up front, that's why I say sort of what I think they should do, even though it's been announced now. Before I get into today's video, remember to follow me on Twitter. So my Twitter, the link is in the description below. You can also find me. My handle is @JacksonKruger. Come over, say hi, and anyways, back to your regularly scheduled video. So it's an interesting discussion, I think, between Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock, and I thought Lock showed some promise in the first performance, and I think that at that point I was kind of leaning towards Lock. But as the more and more I've thought about it, I kind of think that, to me, it's a simple question. Do you feel that the Broncos are ready to compete this year? Are they going to make the playoffs? If you think this is a playoff team and you want to try and compete, I think you probably go with Teddy. He's looked really good this preseason, and just knowing what I know about him and with Locke, it does seem like Teddy's probably the better quarterback right now. Locke does seem to be the guy with more potential, though, and so that's where things get interesting. To me, there was a point when I felt like, Locke's looking good. I also didn't think Locke had the best Week 2 preseason performance, so that factors in. But I want to be clear, it's not that Locke is bad necessarily. I think Teddy might have just won the job more so than Drew Lock has lost it. Teddy Bridgewater has legitimately looked very good in these couple of preseason games. So that's kind of my main point and my main takeaway as to why I like Teddy. And I want to show some film and talk about what I like about him. The main thing I'm going to talk about is there's this narrative of Bridgewater being just a game manager type quarterback, and there's some truth to it, but there's not as much as you might think. So let's talk about that, and let's jump into the film. Okay, so we'll start things off with this play. So what's going to happen on this one is that this is a good example of kind of just that game manager stuff, which, again, people love to use game manager as an insult. It's not just an insult. It can be a compliment. In my opinion, this play is an example of it being a compliment. So what's going to happen is it's man coverage, and you see how far off, you see the route I'm showing on the screen and how far off the Seattle defender is who's covering that. Well, this is something that someone like Teddy Bridgewater, who's been in the league for a minute, he's been in the league longer than Locke has, so he's going to notice this stuff at the line a little bit better than some other guys would. And watch how he takes the snap. He makes a quick throw over there. And even though there was, 57, he kind of ran over and was trying to get into the play. But that's just going to be difficult to do because Bridgewater noticed it quickly and he threw it quickly. And it was really accurate. So, good route by KJ Hamler for sure. But I think that that's a good example of showing how that game manager stuff can really work in a positive way for Teddy. And I also want to talk about something like this because it was not just Teddy Bridgewater dinking and dunking and, being San Francisco Alex Smith. No, it was him legitimately at times throwing the ball down the field. There was some dinking and dunking for sure. There was a good amount of that, but he was doing that because it was the smart decision and he wasn't afraid to throw the ball down the field when necessary. He was just picking his spots. Again, it's possible there were wide open guys that I can't see because I don't have all 22, but from what I could see, that does seem to be the case. And on this play, it's man coverage. It's a cover one man blitz right here, and you see the route that's on the screen. It's actually going to be a bit weird where two Denver players almost run the identical route at the beginning before he is going to break off here. Like, look, as you see, that is kind of going to happen. But Teddy Bridgewater, he's going to step up in the pocket, make a good throw, and his feet weren't planted, by the way. So he didn't have exactly the feet placement that he wants. But sometimes in the NFL, you do got to throw off balance. You got to throw when your feet aren't exactly planted. And for someone like Drew Lock, who, again, I don't want to bash Drew Lock. He's not a horrible quarterback either, but his footwork has been a real issue, and he sometimes doesn't realize where to exactly put your feet and throw off balance like that. So again, it's just the veteran experience is a big thing for someone like Bridgewater. And also, look, just a perfect throw. You got to get the touchdown, though. 82, come on. Reach the ball out. At least try to lean forward or something. I don't know. Very good play, though. He honestly did make the right decision by just catching it and stepping out, because you don't want to, lose the ball or even, drop it and have it go the other way. So he made the right call, but I'm just being funny. It was a very good play by Teddy Bridgewater. Great throw there. And something like this, I think, can also really go against that game manager dink and dunk mindset. Because, listen, again, I'm not trying to pretend like it doesn't exist. It exists, but how much does it exist? And I think maybe it's a bit overblown. It's man coverage. There's a single safety deep. And watch what's going to happen on this play, because when you're watching it, you might see a route that you're like, oh, Bridgewater should throw it to there right away. Look, right when this play starts, I bet you can see it already, but Bridgewater, he's waiting a second. So obviously the one I'm talking about is the underneath route, the one closest to him. So it would be on the left, closer to the left of the screen. That's the route that is wide open. He could have already thrown it there if he wants to, but he's going to take a chance and throw it a little bit deeper. He sees that there's a route there that he likes better and will pick up more yards, and so he's going to take that chance. And that's what I mean by, he makes the right play. A lot of times he can be a bit too cautious, but not all the time, and there's usually a reason. He's not afraid to throw the ball down the field if he thinks that will help him. And look, as you see, again, very accurate throw. You could argue it's a little bit high, but whatever, it's fine. It's an accurate throw, and they do get the first down there. And again, he didn't put too much mustard on the ball. It wasn't too much of a fastball, so even if it's a bit high, the receiver can adjust and make the catch, which is very good. And then last but not least, you have something like this. One thing that I feel like Bridgewater does not get enough credit for, because, he doesn't have a complete cannon of an arm, but he is accurate. And that's the thing that he is really good at. If you're a game manager and you have accuracy, you can go places and you can run an offense for sure. So you see the route that he's going to want to throw to right here. It makes sense, sort of this fade route on a 3rd down and goal. Teams like to do this stuff in the red zone because it's kind of that, low risk, high reward type play. There's not really a lot of risk here, because if you overthrow it, then it's just an incompletion, whatever. And if you underthrow it, it can be an issue, but you just make sure you don't underthrow it and you're fine. Of course, the high reward being a potential touchdown here, which, on a 3rd and goal at the 4, it's not the easiest play to get a touchdown on. But watch how right when this play starts, so you do see that, he throws this one up there. And again, this is open. And that's kind of something that's interesting to me, though, is the fact that Denver has good receivers. So maybe you do go with the game manager type and just let him rely on some of these talented receivers you have on the outside. I think there's a lot of logic there. I really do. But also, just look at this throw. It's just beautifully accurate, exactly where you'd want it to be. You could, maybe argue it should be a bit further, but I don't think so. I think that's fine. And the only reason you would argue that is because the last thing you want is an underthrow, which would result in an interception. But again, I also like how he puts some air under it. He makes these balls easier to catch. That's something Locke does not do as well. Locke does not make these balls as easy to catch. Locke will kind of sometimes bullet some in there that he shouldn't, which again, I'm not trying to critique the kid too much. He is a young player, but that's just where that veteran stuff comes into play. When you see Bridgewater, you can clearly tell he's played in the NFL longer. If you showed me, if you showed someone who knows a lot about football but knows nothing about the Broncos, 20 minutes of Drew Lock tape and 20 minutes of Teddy Bridgewater tape, they'd easily be able to tell who's been in the league longer. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Bridgewater. This was a Bridgewater video. This was not a Bridgewater versus Locke video. I've already made a Locke video, though, about his Week 1 performance, so you can check that out. I might have a different opinion on who should start then, because I think I've changed it too. I do think that probably Bridgewater should be the guy, but who knows? Maybe I'll change back after the last preseason game. The nice thing for Denver is they don't have to make that decision right away. They still have a little bit of time, although running out. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.